Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
This week we celebrate the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters with news and video from the official celebration at Sony Studios put on by Wizard World. Also, we are going to take you inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to a galaxy far, far away for a really cool adventure there. And we catch you up on all the news from San Diego Comic-Con. And Katie, there's a lot of news this week. Stay tuned, guys.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's The Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show.
Welcome back to the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. We are happy to have you guys this week. This week we are talking about the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters. 35 years ago, one of the best summer movies ever. We were talking about it, me and Cheese the other day, about like in 83 it was Return of the Jedi. 84 it was Ghostbusters. 85?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. 86?
Aliens?
Yes, and 87.
The Last Emperor.
Lost Boys.
Okay.
All right. It was a great time to be alive.
4 out of 5 ain't bad.
86 was also, I think, Breakfast Club. Wasn't it 86 or 85? One of those two.
Very similar to Aliens.
Anyways, we are going to be talking about, that's what we're going to be talking about for the second half of the show. But first, we will be talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's the brand new 14-acre giant mega construction that it just has opened just this past 2 weeks ago at Disneyland Resort. It's going to open up in Florida in just a little bit, and it is big. It is huge, and we have some photos from there, and we have opinions about it as well. We've got opinions. What did you say?
We got opinions.
Yes, we do. All right, but first we have and also, Katie is going to catch us up on our Comic-Con news, and she's going to lead us through. And there's a lot of news this week, a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth because someone's not coming, but then someone else is coming, and it's typical Comic-Con season. We have 5 weeks to go. But Katie?
5 weeks?
We're 5 weeks until Comic-Con. Doesn't it seem like crazy that we're that close? And of course, first of all, I am Jim. I am your co-host here on the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. We have a great room full of people. Who do we have with us today?
Hi, I'm Katie, the con girl, and I'm the cosplayer and just lover of all things conventions. So, and a correspondent, I guess, for you guys a little bit. So.
Yep.
And I'm Jake, and I'm the writer and the comics and the movie fan.
And I'm Cheeseman on the couch, here with theconguy.com, just chilling.
And in the booth, taking care of us again, as always, is Ryan, our incredible engineer producer. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, guys.
All right, first up, we have a photograph of Katie. And Katie...
Yeah, I'll wait till it goes up there. But
Right.
I won a contest on Twitter from Amazon Prime to go to the Jonas Brothers premiere.
You won
for
a contest? I didn't know that.
For their documentary, Chasing Happiness. And it's a fantastic documentary. It was made by one of their long-term, he used to be in their band and he's their manager. So it was made by someone that's been close to them for a while. So it's not like they hired someone else to do it. So it's really cool. That was me with Nick Jonas and my best friend. He walked down and was taking pictures with people when they got there. And yeah, we just a video submission on Twitter, and they picked 25 people, and I got to go, and it was pretty cool.
The fun thing about this photo is it looks like you're like all waiting in line to go to the same place together.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's behind you.
What song do they sing? My Name is Jonas? Is that the name of the song they sing?
What's the name of the new document?
The new documentary is called Chasing Happiness.
That's actually a Weezer song.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
It's called My Happiness?
Chasing Happiness, because their album that just came out is Happiness Begins, and this was called Chasing Happiness, and it was all about, like, their journey as a band and, like, why they broke up and why they got back together, and just, it's a very good story about, like, family, what the industry can do when you get into it young. There's even the faith component gets brought in, so it's really good, really well made.
So they're back on tour, right?
They're going on tour starting in like August.
Because they've been off for like, what, 5, 6
6
years?
years. 6 years, yeah.
To the day.
The most I know about Jonas Brothers is from the movie The Hangover, because they always,
Yeah.
Alan always talks about the Jonas Brothers being in town and can't
Well, the
be
big
available
news from,
certain dates.
gosh, was it like 4 weeks ago, I think now? It seems so long ago, but I remember when all that announced they were coming back, and then Jonas Brothers were performing. It's just like,
Yeah.
What? All these things?
Yeah.
When who was coming back?
All
All
that
that
is coming
on
back, and they're
Nickelodeon?
performing
Oh,
on
Oh,
the
that's a
premiere.
show.
Yes.
I thought you
Yes.
didn't
This
finish the
is
sentence.
all
Sorry,
that.
no.
All
And
that
they're-
was coming back.
And
All
they're,
that-
yeah, they're performing on it.
For those that don't know, the sketch show from Nickelodeon
Yes.
when I was 20 years younger.
Wow. And anyways, the thing that I do know
He
about
was
Katie...
2 years old.
Katie is a fan of very many things, but her
Yes.
biggest fandom is the Jonas Brothers. It seems to me, because you... And
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I really do. All right. We have another photo, I think, and this is a photo that we took yesterday, and this is of myself, and Cheeseman on the couch. Cheeseman, tell me what we're looking at here.
We are looking at Seth Green, director, writer, and star of the movie Changeland, which also stars one of his best friends since he was 15 years old, Breckin Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a special Q&A screening at the, what's it called, the Lamley?
Lemley.
Lemley. I almost got it this
It's the
time.
Lemley Music Hall.
Yes, but it was a really cool Q&A kind of screening thing. Seth introduced the film, and then they did the Q at the end, then they hung out in the lobby, interacted with people. And Breckin Meyer threw out Reese's Pieces. I should have brought some. Because he
We should have shown you the
gave
video.
me a couple packs. He kept throwing them at me, but I was trying to film and catch at the same time,
So
and my
Luke's-
coordination was a little off.
He was sitting there, and they go, "You in the red shirt," and he starts beaming him
And then
with
he eventually just ran up to me and handed me candy.
With your bright red
Yeah,
advertisement.
The nice con guy
Yes.
shirt, which I'd actually met them before at
Okay, what's the
Comic-Con.
connection to Comic-Con? Yeah.
So at Comic-Con, I asked them a question about... Well, I just went up to ask them who their favorite Batman was at the Robot Chicken panel.
Yeah, the panel we were in.
Yeah, and then they, for some reason, tried to get me to take my shirt off.
Well, but
They're like, oh, who's the con guy? The con guy just got sexy.
well, in front of like 1,500 people,
Yeah.
Luke's sitting there asking questions, and we had just come from the pool bar outside. We
Yeah.
didn't know we'd get in, and so we're in there, and Luke's happy and in line, and he asks a question, and con guy, who's the con guy? Take that shirt off. Okay, and it starts coming off like, no, put it back on.
I referenced it to Seth when I saw him on Sunday, and then he was like, yeah, that sounds like something we do.
Another thing that we did that was really cool while we were there, oh my gosh, one of the actors from Battlestar Galactica, our friend Derek, who usually is here, his wife Lara, her very favorite show is Battlestar Galactica. So I missed her birthday last week, and I felt really bad. So instead of being at her birthday, I got Mike Gucko. I'd have to look him up. He played Starbuck's boyfriend on Battlestar Galactica, and he wished Lara happy birthday. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's nice.
We couldn't show the video because then we'd
Yeah.
hit the.
But yeah,
anyways.
check out Changeland anyways. It's where, what'd they say? It's in select theaters.
It's all across the country right now in select theaters this week and on video on demand.
Yes.
Is it a comedy?
It's okay.
I don't know. I haven't heard about
It's
this
a
movie, so-
bromedy, like bro.
It's a bromedy.
bromedy.
It's
It's a little bit of drama, a little bit of comedy.
I believe that's called a buddy comedy. Right? Isn't that what it's called? Isn't that
Yes,
the term?
yeah, that's exactly. It's a movie about
Okay.
a guy who
I've never heard bromedy before.
Yeah, I know.
I just made it
a
up.
bromedy.
It's mine. I own it.
It's a guy, Seth Green's character, whatever his name is, Brandon Beverly. I don't know what his name was, but on his anniversary, he finds out that his wife is cheating on him. So the big trip to Thailand that he planned, he takes his buddy Brecken with him on
Oh, okay.
to find himself and get his life back in order, and to finally, so he can get the strength to whether or not to, yes, I'm going to leave her, or no, I'm going to fight for this and stay. And it's a really good. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
But it was kind of really a good. Seth did a good job on that. Really good job. Hey, by the way, if
like
you
that.
are watching us right now on YouTube, give us 2 thumbs up, if you could, because you love our show so much. Or if you're listening to us on iTunes, we would love for you to give us a 5-star rating. But no matter what you're doing, go ahead and leave us a comment and get involved with the show, because we'd love to talk to you. Leave your comments, and we will have a lot of fun with them. We want you guys to be involved as much as possible. But right now, we have something that we call 3-Minute Geek News Roundup. And we have a very special guest this week who's going to deliver it for us.
Thanks.
All right. But wait,
Media Shock's making fun of you, Jim, saying every con story Jim opens with says we came from the bar.
who just said that?
Someone
Media
listening.
Shock. It's like, so I was at a bar, and then
Media Shock watches often.
Yeah.
They know. I can't deny that's the truth. All right. So, hey Ryan, are we going to do the 3-minute countdown this week?
We got the 3-minute
All
countdown
right.
this week.
I'll let Jake and Ryan take it from here.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, it was a dark weekend for Fox's Dark Phoenix. Their opening debut weekend, they only grossed $33 million, which, sad to say, it's the lowest of any of the X-Men franchise. First time they never cracked the 50 million mark that opening weekend.
We'll talk about it in just a minute, Katie. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not great for them. It's also the worst reviewed film in the X-Men franchise. I'll be honest, I haven't seen it. My least favorite was X-Men Origins Wolverine.
And that earned that. Yes.
Wow. What was your least favorite of the X-Men movies?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Yes.
Apocalypse.
Yep.
I found Apocalypse forgettable, but not like... I saw Wolverine for free, and I left the theater thinking, I want my money back.
I think everyone else did too.
Yeah, I was like, but they didn't have enough money to pay for good CG claws, so maybe they can't afford to get it back.
Oh my
But
gosh.
anyway, hopefully things turn up for the X-Men once they join the MCU. I don't know, 17 years from now. In other news, Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam New Line spinoff follow-up to its hit Shazam has found its director. I'm so sorry if I butchered this. Jaume Colette Serra, who just wrapped shooting Dwayne Johnson in Disney's Jungle Cruise, is re-teaming with Johnson for the DC Comics action-based movie. Black Adam is considered the arch nemesis of Shazam, and I feel like this one's been in development for quite some time now. Yeah, like they're talking about it, just like not really behind closed doors, but just kind of out and about, tweeting about it. And so it's nice to see a little bit more action taking place now that Shazam had a nice big oomph in the Shazamiverse.
Katie, you didn't like Shazam, did you? That's so odd.
She-
We'll keep going. We'll keep
didn't
going.
Her
like
least
Shazam.
favorite actor is the lead in that.
Anyways.
Netflix.
Kidding, of course.
On streaming news, Netflix is bringing back the adult-skewing animated anthology series Love, Death, and Robots for another go-round.
Which I haven't seen yet.
Me neither,
Okay.
but you rave about it.
Katie does.
raves about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about it? The love, the death, or the robots?
It's just awesome.
Okay. It sounds like a really weird version of rock, paper, scissors. I hope that's what the entire show is about. Anyway, the series features a wide breadth of genres: science fiction, fantasy, horror, comedy, rock, paper, and scissors, and the story is told through animation styles from traditional 2D to photoreal 3D CGI, so congrats to them. In other streaming news,
30
Swamp
seconds.
Thing. Oh, Swamp Thing. So sorry, Swamp Thing. You're gonna have to go back into the water because it sounds like you got the axe. You've been canceled, even though all 10 episodes are gonna stream on DC Universe.
And people seem to like it.
They do like it. I saw the first episode of that, and it's really good. If you like John Carpenter's The Thing, you'll probably love this show.
You got 15 seconds.
All right. Warner Brothers, it might fold into the Warner Brothers streaming service.
Yep.
It might be its own thing. Last but not least, Justin Bieber has challenged Tom Cruise to an MMA fight. He says, "I want to challenge Tom Cruise to fight in the octagon. Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared and you will never live it down. Who is willing to put on the fight?" So, Tom, this is your mission, should you choose to accept it.
Wow, right on time. Right on time.
I did not think you were gonna.
I did
make
not
it.
either. This
I would
was-
watch. I'm just saying, I'd watch it.
Wasn't the... Okay, that's the weirdest bit of news.
A
That is a
Bieber
weird
Cruise
bit of
octagon?
news.
Is he like...
Yeah, Bieber Cruise.
You know how Bieber occasionally goes on
Cruise.
his weirdness rants? That's one of them. I mean, who challenges Tom Cruise to a
He was
MMA
hanging out
fight?
with Roseanne. That's just,
I know.
And
I
he
could see a
took
charity
some-
event doing very well.
Yeah.
You could pull in so many quadrants with a Cruise Bieber fight.
I can see Bieber
I
doing
think
it.
they should. It should be tag team. And
I
like
can't see
Macaulay
Tom Cruise doing
Culkin
that.
likes
Tom Cruise is
doing
not
kind of
gonna
the
do
fighting
that.
stuff. He could join in.
Macaulay
and-
Culkin likes doing fighting styles?
Yeah.
like kind of the
MMA?
fun parodies, and even in the movie
In the movie.
Changeland that we were showing,
He
he
would-
does a fight scene.
He's big into MMA.
Yeah.
That's what Seth was saying. He's a big
well,
fan.
I think it's pro wrestling more so, but he's also in
He
different
fought
types of stuff.
his butt off in this
Yeah.
movie. It was great in his bunny ears. It was bizarre.
Rather than an MMA fight, I think Bieber and Cruise should do either a lip sync battle or a rap battle a la 8 Mile. That'd be more entertaining.
By the way,
And with Tom Cruise dressed as his character from Tropic Thunder.
Exactly.
we just found out
exactly.
somebody who has offered to get into the ring with Justin Bieber. Lipnicki, John.
Really?
What? Say it again.
It's
Jonathan
right?
Lipnicki
Jonathan-
Yeah,
from
he
Jerry
does the
Maguire.
fighting, yeah.
Yes, our
Okay.
friend Brad, who is friends with him, just texted us to say that Jonathan.
Is he fighting for Tom Cruise's honor?
That would be awesome.
Jerry
That would
totally
be
makes
great.
sense.
That's perfect. Perfect. Yes.
That's a good.
That's
twist.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
good.
happen.
Okay.
He's gonna bang his 8-pound
Oh,
8-pound head against.
I can't
the
wait to
mat
see
so
that
hard.
now. Okay, Brad, you got to get
Lipnicki's
Lipnicki come
gonna
on
do
the
that
show
to
with
Bieber.
us, and so he can accept the challenge. By the way, let's talk for a second about Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Myself, I saw it. Luke saw it. Katie, you saw it.
Yes,
and your
correct.
thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I liked the story. I liked the characters and a lot of stuff. I just had some small issues with the writing and the directing, which I know that doesn't sound like a small issue, but there was just certain things like Mainly because like the pacing.
That's kind of like saying I like
Yeah.
the cake. I just had an issue with how it tasted.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was just
Didn't
like
like the flavor.
Oh, the
the
frosting.
frosting.
like the beats that the actors had. It felt very like, okay, can you just like Ross on Friends, how he has that way that he delays everything and he can't say a line fast. It kind of reminded me of that. It worked for Ross, but it
When
did
were
not work
you
for Sophie.
under me? That's a Friends quote.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
for free.
I
So,
will
but I enjoyed it.
not go.
I think Nicholas Hoult was probably one of my favorite parts about that movie.
He's one of the best actors in that movie.
He is, and
Him and
he
Fassbender.
actually favorited my tweet after I watched the movie because I tweeted him, and yeah, he liked it, so that was fun. But he was my favorite of that movie for sure.
Nice.
His the character development of Beast in general, and his relationship with
For
I can't think
someone.
of her name right now.
Oh, sorry. Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, but what's her character's name?
Raven.
Thank you,
Mystique.
Raven.
Mystique.
Mystique. Their
For-
character development was really good.
For someone who's only read the Dark Phoenix saga, the
love
Claremont
it.
story, what elements do they borrow closely, and what is very different?
They did, the elements that they borrowed closely was Jessica Chastain's character was someone who was there goading her into this Dark Phoenix thing. You know, in the comics, there was this underground society and
Hellfire Club.
The Hellfire Club,
yeah,
and
which
they
they've
were.
already used, so they can't. Yeah.
Have we? When did we use the Hellfire
First
Club?
class.
Did they use it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but First Class was my favorite of this phase, I guess,
Yeah.
of X-Men. So it definitely wasn't as good as that, but it wasn't as bad as
They
I think.
the thing that they did well is the Phoenix was a cosmic force,
Yes.
which invaded her body. But it ended there as far as the cosmic, because in the comic books, Phoenix flies into outer space, into the middle of a star, causes it to go supernova, and destroys like 5 to 6 billion people, and so she must be brought to justice according to this alien race. That's too much for one movie. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
especially once you've never even introduced it. But Jessica Chastain.
never
Okay,
done.
this is a little bit of a spoiler. Should we spoil her? Should we spoil her a little bit?
No,
I
I
won't.
say just don't do anything.
Okay, I won't
spoilery.
spoil her anything.
Yes. No one cares.
I'll tell you this, you guys. No one saw it this weekend. So
Yes.
I don't know if you're gonna.
That's what
really
no one's gonna
spoil
care.
much.
It's not like Game
well,
of Thrones.
Well, no, this
or
isn't. This
like
isn't a
Avengers
giant
or
spoiler. Just
something.
Jessica Chastain is an alien.
Yes.
And so she is from another race of aliens, and so that's the closest we get to the whole cosmic stuff. Other than that, I didn't hate the film. It was fun. I liked the action. But what do you think,
Wasn't
Cheese?
that fun?
Okay.
That was. I mean, it was
can
an
understand that
okay
argument.
movie, but it's just after being spoiled with all this stuff from Marvel, after
Yeah.
coming from Endgame, which still has humor, even though all this dark stuff happened. It's just like there's not really an arc of fun to series. Like you need all that stuff where it's just
Yeah.
very kind of like. So, like everybody's serious looks, and it was just too serious.
I do give you
Enough.
that you're right. That
Yeah,
it was
I agree with
dour the whole time
My favorite part was the ending.
because
Because it was over.
Well, that yes, but the other
Your favorite part was the ending.
and going back to the
She
bar.
liked everything
for-
but the
for
writing and the
media
directing.
shot. No, where they play the chess game at the end because
Yeah.
they kind of tied it together.
Yes,
You know, where,
correct.
Don't tell the characters who are doing
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
I agree with you. I love that ending.
it was Beast and Gambit playing.
Although
Chess.
I was a
Yeah.
bit perplexed
How
as
many X-Men movies end with a chess game?
I was a bit
One,
perplexed.
Yeah,
2.
Oh my gosh, Darian.
it ended with
So-
Bryan Singer in jail.
Oh look, and
Sorry, I don't wanna be
Fassbender was so
controversial.
great in this movie.
He's one of my favorites in this
In this series.
group
Is
of
that a
se-
production still, or is that a weekend party?
This is there's a production still.
Is that his Memorial Day
That
cookout?
makes
Yes.
it look fun. He looks kind of happy.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like it's a scene from True Blood and not.
But here's the
this.
deal:
Very Skarsgård, yeah.
Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix
Yeah.
was one of the largest.
Oh, by the
panels-
way, I don't think the people on here are seeing the stills. They commented earlier that they didn't see
Oh.
Okay.
our pictures.
We had one problem with the first picture, but
There it
we
is.
fixed it
I
since
see
then.
it.
We've
Yeah.
Problem
fixed it
has
since
been
Alright,
then.
fixed. Thank you
perfect.
guys for letting us know
Yes.
about that.
Yeah.
But I semi enjoyed the film. I did not hate the film. It was by far not my favorite Marvel film, or my favorite Fox
Yes.
Marvel film.
Which is
My favorite Fox Marvel film is probably Days of Future Past or X2.
Are you not counting Deadpool in this?
Are you not counting Sideways?
Oh, that's right, Deadpool.
I would say Deadpool is my favorite.
They were mutants in Sideways. That's
Deadpool
right.
goes on the Sideways trip with Miles and Jet.
One of these days we'll have an episode all about our favorites of all those films because they will be rebooted. They are about to be taken over by the the goodness that is Kevin Feige. We are so
Although,
happy about that.
This Dark Phoenix did make me want to see like Dark Phoenix versus Captain Marvel, because like that would be.
Oh my gosh. But Captain Marvel was not around during the Dark Phoenix
I know,
saga.
but like I want to see that be after this movie.
I have a feeling if Kevin Feige reboots the X-Men, it's going to be in the non-Avengers
Yeah.
world, kind of how it exists in the comic books. You don't see a lot of crossovers.
well, there is the one.
There's some.
Yeah, there's some.
but not a lot.
Yeah.
So let me.
Can I ask you guys a quick question?
Sure.
Earlier this week, I believe Marvel came out and said that the term X-Men might be outdated. So if you think they take the characters, are they going to be called X-Men?
Oh, interesting.
Well, they did touch on
It was in
that
the movie.
actually too. They actually say like about not calling them X-Men because there's also women, or because the women. What is it? They said the women,
women are always
save
saving
them.
the men.
Yeah, so they say the women always save the men. So why are we called the X-Men? They said that in the movie. It's interesting.
Whatever. I'm tired.
I mean, we're called the con guy, but we represent all people of all
Well,
types.
Katie's you're the con girl.
But we, just because we're the con
I
guy
understand
doesn't
that
mean
argument. I
we're-
really do understand that argument. I don't think there's the giant proponent of people pushing that. The X-Men has been something forever, and it's forever had more women than men in it. Storm, for as long as I remember, Storm was the leader of the X-Men. That's when I was reading it, and I don't remember feeling like, oh no, there's women, we need to change the name. But I'm not a woman, so it's probably not fair for me to be the one to say that. I don't know.
Do you think it's more of they want to separate it from the Fox films and just refer to them as something else?
I mean, that's also possible because I mean, well, and think about, for example,
What they call it, Children of the Atom?
I can't think
They
of
take
their
that
name.
moniker?
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Marvel movies, because they can't refer to them as mutants because of all the stuff. So maybe that's another reason too, is because technically those characters are X-Men in the Fox universe, but in the Marvel universe they did not refer to them as mutants.
Call
That
them
could
enhanced. We have two
Enhanced, yeah.
and that's like we could talk about the Inhumans.
because they couldn't call them mutants.
So now,
Yes.
now mutants are part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They will be.
Yes.
According to Kevin Feige, they already have their 5-year plan for the next phase, and I am guessing we will find that out this Comic-Con. That is my best guess, and I think that Katie had on good information that that's probably going to be true. Which leads me to thank you, Ryan, for that question. I mean, that is something I'm not prepared to talk about right now. I don't know. I did hear that, and like when the line in the movie, like I get irritated when someone says, "Okay, we're gonna do a real woke line right here," but it didn't mean anything. Like nothing happened in the movie. I mean, the most powerful being in the X-Men ever is Dark Phoenix, and me and Luke have this all the time. This discussion. We've always had strong women in fandoms. I think Sarah Connor's the most kick-ass woman ever to come across, her and Sigourney Weaver, but we didn't used to call it, ooh, there's a woman. Look, there's someone who doesn't have, no, we just loved it. It was awesome. But now all of a sudden we have to call out every time it happens. I think there's some definite steps forward that we have made and they are necessary, but I just hope we don't segment ourselves so much to where, I think the other day we were talking about is it anytime there's a female lead movie you have to have a female writer and now you have to have a female director. So does that mean that for the male skewing movies you're only going to have male writers and male directors, and only for Black Panther are we going to have I don't want us to get so segmented.
Is everyone getting matched up a bit too conveniently?
Yeah.
Which is maybe not necessarily the true definition of diversity in entertainment.
Yeah. And maybe the most.
Like Catherine Bigelow could do a Point Break and do The Hurt Locker, and that's her forte. Or Zero Dark 30.
And we were excited about that, but we
It's
did
more so just discrediting people that were doing it way before, and then acting like it's this new thing, like front of magazines where it's no, Sarah Connor, Alien, pretty much every horror movie, and just saying oh, this is a new thing. No, it's been happening, and we should appreciate the ones that actually really say. Even Princess Leia was talked as being one of the first strong women
ahead of her time, yeah. But Logan's
cinema,
Run back in the day, and Marion from Indiana Jones, she could. And I mean, granted, we have made strides in certain ways, but I think what we're becoming now is and it's a good thing that we think about it and we got to stop this conversation because we have a lot more to talk
Yeah,
about.
I was gonna say y'all are going on a long tangent.
But I don't want to. I don't want anyone ever to consider us misogynistic or anti-woman. We love all of our fandoms. Anyways,
Just
We're the con gang from here on out.
Yeah.
we're the Connors. No, we're not there. All right, real quick, we're going to switch over. We have a really exciting thing to show you guys. By the way, and as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to go over some upcoming conventions that are coming up. But me and Cheeseman were able to go visit Star Wars Galaxy's Edge down at Disneyland recently. And there we go. We had like our reserve pass for 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We had to get in and out, experience everything we could. And
9 to 5?
5 to 9.
5 to 9.
We
Okay.
had a
they're
4-hour
4-hour time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
That was quick.
So the biggest news to come
But
out.
the good news is there's not much to do there yet.
Oh wait! Stop!
So we did everything.
I just want to tell everybody right up front that it is probably one of the most monumentally beautiful, breathtakingly designed land I've ever seen Disney design. It's huge, it's awesome. We have all these cool pictures. Like there is something I was taping when you see the Millennium Falcon in real life for the very first time. It just gives you the chills to the bone.
Oh, is that Hammerhead?
It is a hammerhead. That is Doc Ondar. This is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. So, Cheeseman, I will let you start talking about. Wait. Let me go first, and you give the other
Yeah, then I
perspective.
can give more of an honest.
Okay. No,
Raw.
my perspective is this. This is my perspective. I think it was just breathtaking. It was impressive. It was to the T designed exactly how it needs to be designed. It was huge. It was open, and for those of us who are Star Wars fans, we just stepped into a Star Wars world, and it felt awesome. I do think it has some room for improvement, and that's the way we are framing this. Cheeseman, tell me what your opinion was.
Like you said, it was a great space. Like they. had
By the way, we're
created
showing a picture
really
of
good
you and
environment.
Ray.
Yes, and she was a very good Ray.
Yes,
I
she
would
was.
say. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
All these actors stay in character pretty well, I've been told.
I was almost too intimidated to ask her for
Almost
a
too
picture.
much.
I'm like, because she's
Almost
like
too
a
much.
little too much.
I
Like
dare
Ray.
you to ask for a bathroom. Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, they had a few characters, which was cool. We saw Chewie, but Chewie looked like he was about to go on a break.
Yeah.
When I saw him, unfortunately. And there's that new character too. I don't think that's on here. The one that's she's known as the character of the park.
She's the
Maz Kanata?
yeah no. She's a spy for Admiral
Yeah.
Organa. General Organa. Leah Organa.
But yeah, that was kind of cool because she kind of like she's like, can you look over to see if the stormtroopers are coming, and like had us kind of spying for her. So that was kind of fun, the interaction there. There's the area where you build a bot. We kind of could
Build a
go in
droid.
there, build a droid, but it was it could be 100 or 200 or.
Just depending what it is.
Yeah.
And there's
My friend
But
got
it
one.
looked
it's like a
cool, though.
conveyor
Oh,
belt
really?
and everything.
My friend got one.
Do you know how much she paid for it?
No, I can ask him.
$2,000.
An
Okay.
astromech? A
Yeah.
protocol?
Yeah.
What kind of droid?
All I know is I'm saving up to get a lightsaber. That's all I know.
The
Well-
It's
lightsaber,
also 200,
although
right?
That
Yeah.
you gotta. What was it?
Oh
you
yeah,
do
no,
have
I know.
to get
Yeah.
Tell you what.
reservation.
We'll go-
You could say you have to get reservation.
No, I'll go ahead and tell you. My advice for anyone going to visit, and directly to your point, and then I'll let Luke jump on this, is if you're going to go in, do not go directly to their one attraction, which is Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. It's a good attraction. It's not spectacular, but it's fun. We rode it twice. We could have rode it a third time because the lines go down in the middle of your time you're there.
But it's also because right now it's a smaller group of people
Yes.
being
Yeah.
let out. Eventually, it's probably going to be a 2 or 3
The
hour
reason I
wait.
say don't go first to Oga's Cantina if you want to get some of the drinks because
15 minutes if you don't get there.
you won't be
get
able to
go in,
participate.
which was one of the things that our little group of 3, Brad, if you're watching.
Brad's there's a
Poor
picture of
little
me, you, and
Bradley.
Brad at the Millennium Falcon chess
Yeah.
table.
You're in an
So-
X-Men movie here.
Yeah, look at that. We're playing.
Playing chess.
But there's 2 things that you should go to very first when you walk through the doors. You should go straight to Oga's Cantina, line up, and let them give you your callback number. They'll give you a number and they'll call your phone. Once you have that number, if you still have time, go over to get your lightsaber design. Or I had a little bit of aggravation with that part. Luke has me on video getting aggravated. I go walking over and someone says, I say, what is this? oh, this is scrap metal. You can collect and make your own scrap metal. I'm like, scrap metal? What are you talking about? You know, this is scrap metal. They won't come out of character, and they pointed to a banner of a lightsaber. I said, oh, you mean lightsaber? Scrap metal.
Oh, they're not allowed
Yeah, they're not
because
allowed
they
to
can't
say.
say lightsaber
Right.
in under the order under the first order
Yes,
rule,
which is kind of cool, but kind of frustrating because I couldn't figure that out. But then I couldn't get in. I said, oh, can I go see it? Oh, no, reservations are gone. I'm like, what?
Well, you have to pay
No.
to get in.
You pay to get in?
So you have to, from what I've heard, to get into the building, you have to buy a lightsaber. And that's in order to watch the show and everything, you have to pay to get in. Now, will it always be that way? Probably not. But right now, you have to pay to get into that.
I'm not sure if I was told that or not.
They may not have. They might have just.
I
Said
know that your
reservations,
lightsabers are pretty pricey in there, but for let me say right in front, Star Wars is the movie. The reason I came to Hollywood was this movie. I love it that much. It just changed my life, and so I was so stoked to go there.
Yeah. So just in general, there wasn't enough of the IP, especially the
beautiful to see that
old,
hallway,
or
though.
even
It is.
even much of the new stuff, because they're trying to for some reason we're doing a new thing. It's kind of its own thing.
It's
There's
its
little
own
elements,
planet. It's an original planet, right?
which
Batu.
is really
It
annoying.
It is the planet of Batu. This is the Black Spire outpost on the planet of Batu. It's called Black Spire because these big rock formations you see used to be trees, and they have now become spires.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna fix it eventually, because I mean,
Fix it.
You're
It's
going
not
to Millennium
broken.
Falcon, you
It is-
want kind of more of the character. Like Star Tours is a much better, as far as the video go. The cool thing about the ride is you get the push buttons, you get the fire, you get to sit there and you're actually firing lasers, and then someone's actually steering. They assign you different roles. It's just a small group in each little thing, which is cool, and I like looking out of it, and the hyperspace and all that kind of stuff is fun. But then they're just not making a good use of the characters like they would in Star Tours, and they don't have the score where it just basically gives you the chills as
I
you're
was kind of
doing it.
surprised, yeah.
So it just felt kind of empty in a way to me. The coolest thing was just being in the Millennium Falcon and walking through those hallways and seeing kind of the chessboard stuff. But then kind of getting in there and doing the that was cool. But then it's I didn't feel like I was in the movie Star Wars, where it just felt like a missed opportunity, where I feel like they need to go in and do Star Tours, where they're switching out different missions that you can write it many different times to get different missions, and then maybe sometime you hear Han's voice telling you what to do and different things, and just kind of really bring you in the fandom and just more characters around the area. I just think it's a good start, but it's not there yet, basically.
I think because I did speak with Luke, and some of what he was saying I get. For example, the big dedication ceremony for Galaxy's Edge was a star-studded event with George Lucas, Han, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and
Billy D.
Yeah, Billy D
Billy
was
D.
there,
Williams was
which
there.
was fantastic. And then they hit it to start it, and it was dedicated to Peter Mayhew, who had just passed. And what did that do? That made us all nostalgic for Star Wars. Then you walk in, none of that's there. It's designed to not be part of our nostalgia. It was designed to be part. It's set between episodes 8 and 9. Deliberately, and I think it's so they can build on it in the future. There is something to be said about.
But it made me nostalgic for Force Awakens, even, because I'm where's Force Awakens? It's
True.
weird feeling nostalgic even now. For
In
that.
4
full-
years ago.
But in full disclosure, the biggest attraction there, the Rise of the Resistance, is not open yet. It'll be
Yes.
opening later this year, and it is apparently one of the biggest rides Disney's ever designed.
That is a ride?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But right now, 14 acres, one attraction. It's woefully bereft of things to do. It's a 14-acre shopping mall right now with a
Comparable
cantina.
to the Wizarding World at the Universal Hollywood kind of thing, where it's one section, and I actually don't know how large that is. I don't know if that's 14 acres.
I
or-
think it's much smaller than
Yeah.
this. But there's more attractions there. But I like what Luke said. I bet you anything they will be adding more attractions. Looks like it's built for many more attractions to come. I'd be surprised if they weren't going to. I'm not slamming it. I think it's a great addition to Disney.
It's a good start, but they need the Star Wars
Yes.
people to come in and then complain maybe a little bit and then get it
Yeah,
to
I mean,
the place that it needs to
You
be.
need to add it. I won't feel nostalgic for this place. When I left here, I walked in and I kept on thinking, man, I want to go ride Star Tours because it made me nostalgic for
and
Star Tours.
And the Space Mountain Hyperspace is back as well, which I literally got like chills the first time I rode that. We didn't get to ride it this time, but like going through there and then playing that Star Wars music, like they're going through, and then everything flying around.
And we do have to finish this section, but I do know that John Williams did compose an original score just for this land.
I did not hear it.
I didn't hear it either, which was very upsetting to me. It must not have been playing that day. They didn't have a lot of characters walking around. I don't think it was a bad land. I think that we had a bad experience.
We did have the green and blue milk too, as well.
Yes.
Saw that.
Which was okay. It was slushy, but
I
it
don't
was
know.
okay.
Is
It
it
was-
slushy?
Kind of
Yeah.
tastes a little bit like a push pop if it was more.
It is not
liquidy.
milk. It is not milk. It'll be hot.
Yeah.
It's more of a
No, yeah.
It's a fruit slushy, which is good. So overall, I think it has tons of potential, and I really hope they do add in.
Yeah.
So,
So far, what for me, it's probably like a C or C minus, but it will get there to being a nice.
I'm not going to say I wasn't disappointed. I left disappointed, but I think it has a lot of potential. I fully have faith that Disney is going to make that thing a shining star of their empire.
If this is a
Oh wait, that's terrible. I'm not calling them the empire of
Yeah.
their kingdom. That's better.
if this is a C, what's a B or an A in your opinion from theme parks or amusement parks you've been to?
I think Cars Land,
Land?
is an A as far as immersive, great attractions. It has a lot. It's one of the best things they've ever done. Haunted Mansion is an A all by itself. All right. Okay, real quick before we do this, I got to run through this list real quick. We have some upcoming cons coming up that I want to tell everybody about. June 15th through 16th, Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con is in Las Vegas. June 28th through the 30th, Wisconsin Comic Convention. July 4th through 7th, Florida SuperCon in Miami. July 4th through 7th weekend also is Anime Expo downtown Los Angeles. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Katie. Also, July 17th through 21st, it is San Diego Comic-Con, which includes preview night. It's only 5 weeks away, which is ridiculous to think about it. October 11th, October 11th through 13th seems a long ways away, but LA Comic-Con right now has opened up early bird tickets if you guys want to get them. And then a couple of other events. June 29th through 30th is Riverdale Convention in Whippany, New Jersey. I've never heard of that town, but that sounds awesome. Whippany or Whippany. And then July 31st through August 4th, the official Star Trek convention in Las Vegas. Katie,
Yes.
Speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, you have some news. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can go through real quick.
Okay.
Like I can do it
I
quickly.
didn't
it's fine.
realize we haven't talked about this.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So for San Diego Comic-Con, the big news is that Warner Brothers, as some of you have probably heard, has dropped out of Hall H this year, and they usually have a really big presence, like a 2-hour time slot.
Yep.
They will not be there this year, but It Chapter 2 will have a presence headlining the 3rd annual Scare Diego event, hosted by New Line, and they revealed that Warner Brothers plans to return to SDCC in 2020 with its DC feature slate. And that for 2019 they simply weren't ready they didn't have material, basically. Okay, and offsite SDCC unofficial blog PaceyCon, Sunday night, 6 to 8 p.m. at
PaceyCon.
Dubliner?
Yeah, the Dubliner.
at 554 4th Avenue, themed after Dawson's Creek. The Ace parking lot, you guys have heard us talk about Ace parking lot lotteries. They're now officially open to the public, so anybody can get those parking passes, and I encourage that.
Yeah, you need those,
and
yeah.
also the big news that they dropped this year was that the badges are changing. They usually have a plastic piece in it, and that's the RFID, and that's kind of been the process since 2016. This year they're only doing paper that has your name and the days you purchased with an RFID sticker. So that's going to be interesting. We'll
It
see
doesn't
how,
sound as
It's-
secure, but
we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I'm still surprised that that's a random thing to change. Anyway, Conan O'Brien is back at the Spreckles Theater. The tickets are not yet on the One Iota site, but just keep your eyes open. And Wednesday, July 17th at 4:30, Thursday, July 18th at 4:30, 19th at 4:30, and Saturday at 5:30. And then Amazon Studios confirmed that they'll be renting 60,000 square feet for an offsite to promote the series The Expanse, Carnival Row, and The Boys. And Amazon Studios has kind of been bringing it pretty big. So, yeah, and the offsites are fun. So, yeah. And I believe that was all for the news for the most part.
But who did announce they were coming?
Game of Thrones is coming back. So that's kind of a surprise. I guess they're coming back, but without their showrunners.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting panel. I'm sure they'll panel or riot? I don't really know. It's going to be an interesting for sure, but the stars will be there as like a final farewell to Game of Thrones.
We will have a lot more Comic-Con news coming up, and we'll put it on our Facebook page. And I apologize, we're going to have to truncate. We have one last thing to talk about. We'll talk about it fairly quickly, but this weekend was the official 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters. And we have a slideshow that we're going to let run while we talk about it. Wizard World Entertainment hosted the official Ghostbusters 35th anniversary down at Sony Pictures Studios lot down in Culver City, and it was a blast. Me and Cheeseman went down there. Some news came out, some cool things happened. We got to see a lot. There's by the way, you're seeing we just showed a statue, the evil dog statue. The Halloween store, what is it? Spirit Halloween store is going to have that for sale for $499 this year. That's kind of cool to celebrate Ghostbusters.
But anyways, there's a lot of Marshmallow Mans walking around. They had like big inflatable ones. They had cars that a lot of like fans had made themselves that were allowed kind of there on the lot. Different people had make different fan documentaries, even their own ghost-busting kind of groups and crews. There was just a big mix of fandoms, and they
Kato
had a
Kaelin.
ton of signings there too. And then Kato, yeah,
Kato Kaelin was the host for the
host
weekend.
of the main stage activities and all that, of all things. And then Flux Capacitors, which is a Back to the Future cover band, as well as 80s cover band they played, and we're probably going to have them on the show sometime.
Yeah, which would be
fun.
great.
And then they had a mix of different people from...
Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah, from Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2. They did, I think, some stuff on the animated series. I didn't attend any of those panels. And then they also talked about, the most recent one they did with the women Ghostbusters, and then they're talking about made some news about the new upcoming one that's going to bring a lot of the people from the original 2 films back.
What was it? And by the way, sorry that we're speeding so quickly, but the big news that came out this weekend while we were sitting there, Sigourney Weaver got up. She was on a red carpet somewhere, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm in the next movie." Has not been confirmed. Yeah, all of us are. Me and Bill and Dan. And so we're sitting there and we're watching a panel with the director of the next film, Jason Reitman, and his dad was also on the panel, Ivan Reitman.
Yep.
And Jason, and someone goes, "We got to ask a question. Did they read this? Does she know what she's talking about?" And he just very reluctantly goes, "I do admit, Sigourney has read the script."
Yeah, that's how they confirmed
Yes.
everybody. that
And
Bill
did
Murray has read the script.
Dan read the script? Yes, Dan. And Bill, has he read the script? Yes, he's read
I
the
wish
script.
they would have asked about Rick Moranis. Did Rick Moranis
Oh my
read the
gosh,
script?
that is a get.
I know.
Because if he could return
If
for
you
that,
get Rick Moranis, that is a get.
And what's really cool is Dan Aykroyd, he was there all day hosting a lot of the events. He had one event where he talked about his belief in the supernatural and how he was actually he's the force behind the whole series. He wrote the original treatment, which was much larger, and they had to cut it down to the story that they eventually came up with. But it was kind of interesting. The reason I started the show talking about like the movies of we got one video I would love to show you. We got to wrap this show up, guys, because
We can show the video real quick.
okay, we're going to show a video real quick, and then we're going to wrap up.
All right, here we go, you guys.
All right, this is one of the panels that
I really trust your instincts on this.
Jason Reitman and Ivan Reitman.
We've made extraordinary movies.
this is him telling his son he's comfortable with him passing the baton over to him.
And I think you have the heart, which is the real secret. It's finding these characters, making us love them. And I'm quite sure you're going to do that. And I say trust them and go for it, buddy.
It was such a great moment to see the dad passing the baton to the son.
I told you I had a surprise. And as you know, this movie that we're about to make is a love letter to 1984, just as today is a love letter to 1984. And in making this movie, we found something kind of extraordinary. We went to Sony and we said, we'd really love to get back into the original dailies from 1984. Do you still have them? And we found them.
This is cool. But listen,
They were in a mine in Kansas, and we shipped the boxes to Burbank, and we've been going through the footage for reasons I cannot tell you. But along the way, we found some really cool stuff, and let's go ahead and roll some of the first piece of footage that we found.
And they showed several different bits
Yeah.
of it, but basically they're saying they may use the footage for either some scenes that maybe weren't used, or they may be kind of digitizing maybe certain characters.
Is this going to be like that DS9 episode where they go back to the Tribble episode of Star Trek?
I do not know.
Or I could just say it'd be like Endgame, and I guess it's a warm up.
But the thing that was
Time travel.
interesting that stood out is somebody asked him about Harold is it Ramis, what the character who played
Egon Spengler.
Yes, Egon, who that actor is no longer with us. He has passed on, but when they asked Ivan Reitman, they said, what are you going to do? And they or about him being gone. Are you going? Does the story accommodate the fact that he's no longer with us? And Ivan, he just goes, he's always with us, like that. And then they made this comment about, we went back to the originals. We can't tell you why. It sounds like they might be somehow bringing him into the story somehow, hopefully with the permission of his family. We cannot say that is true, but they kind of insinuated it. And we do have to wrap up, but real quick, any other thoughts about this weekend?
Yeah, a clip we don't probably have time for, but there's a real sweet moment between the father and son, just like the son just saying how much there's no other storyteller or filmmaker he appreciated more than his father.
Tell you what, Ryan, we are going to end the show on that clip, if you don't mind.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, and it's a real short clip, and this is such a sweet one, guys. But go Ghostbusters. I'm so glad that we're celebrating 35 years. I can't wait to see the next one. By the way, all three directors of all three Ghostbusters were on the stage at one point. Okay, here we go. This last clip.
If there's any more appropriate place for me to take this evening, except to say that you're the greatest storyteller I know, and I am the luckiest son on earth, and I feel so intimidated to make this film, but I'm making it for all of you guys. But most of all, I'm making it for you. And I love you. And thank you again.
So it's so great, and so this is kind of how we ended. It's kind of how we ended the Star Wars celebration. And thank you guys for joining us this week. I wish we had more time to talk. I wish we had more time to talk about Ghostbusters. But take a look at our website. We have a lot of articles.
And our Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
We've been posting different pictures and videos from these events.
And the last thing I got to say, the funniest thing was Ray Parker Jr. was there for who you gonna call. He did 90 minutes or 2 hours of sound check during the middle of the day, and
it still sounded terrible.
And then at the end of the day,
Not because of him. He
they did
sounded
another
great,
45
but the
minutes of it,
sound
and then
there
it
in
started.
general
It's like,
bad.
oh, that was awful. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Sorry we're kind of rushing through, but we just had so much to talk about. We always are pretty gabby here. Anyways, if you want to follow us, please follow us at theconguy.com on Twitter. You can also find me at JimFryeLA on Twitter. Katie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at KT_Christine or on Instagram at Katie's Fairy Tale.
You can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at JT Hummus.
And you can find me on Twitter at Cheese on the Couch and Cheese on Couch, actually, and on theconguy.com. And this was the little badge there from the Ghostbusters event. So,
all right.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Thanks
And
for watching.
Thank you guys for watching. And this is the panel. This is the panel guide that we
program,
had.
yeah.
The program. We'll have a lot more on the website this week. Again, thank you guys. And everybody in this room, thank you guys for coming out tonight. I know that you have better things to do, but this is a lot of fun. No. All right. Tune in next week, guys. We'll see you then.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.